Okay, for this week's activity, what we're going to do is we're going to go to this web page right here, and I'll have this in the description that you can just copy and paste. And then from there, I'm going to want you to select one of these web pages and then recreate it. Okay, and you're going to do it quite simply by grabbing the HTML and the CSS, and then you'll have two files in your folder. One will be the original, which should turn out to be exactly like the one you select, and then another one will be with edits. And the with edits one, I'm going to want you to um, uh, look into what the CSS box model is. It involves margin, it involves padding and border, and I'm going to want you to manipulate the CSS to make a totally different looking HTML page. Okay, so the only one that I don't want you to choose though is this one right here. I'm using this as an example so I can show you exactly what it looks like, and I'm going to show you right now how you go about quickly getting the HTML and the CSS from um, from a page itself. Okay, so this page is loaded. It's at this website, and we're going to try to access all of the HTML and the CSS by going into the Dev Tools. You can do that by typing or holding on the uh, function button in F12 like that, or you could also, if I close this, what I also sometimes do is do Option Command and then I, and that opens it as well. Okay, so once you do that, you'll be able to see elements, and you're going to be able to see all the CSS in particular right down here on any particular thing that you highlight. So that's but you're also going to get you also can get the HTML for this by going into View, going to Developer, and then go to View Source. So I'm going to grab that right here. I'm going to grab this whole thing, and then I'm just going to copy it. Now I'll redo this, so I'll get rid of what I have just to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Is I'm going to get rid of what was here, which actually was, but I'm going to erase that. I'll press exclamation point like this, and then press tab, and then inside the body, actually I want to just get what's inside the body, so I'm going to go from here down to, we'll say to here, copy that, put that in the body, and now if I'm going to get rid of the CSS just so you can see as well, because I'm going to retrieve that also. But without the CSS, you should get something that doesn't look too good, or doesn't, it's just completely unstyled. What I get, actually I'm on the CSS page, so it's not going to work. But what I get when I do that is this right here. So it's completely unstyled. And so now I got to access the CSS and put that in a folder as well. So if let's see if my CSS is, and I'm going to call that original.css. So this CSS sheet should now be connected. So now I got to access the CSS from the original file, which is right here. If you notice this is not the H or the this is not the local file. See, right here is my local file right here, and then this is the actual web page that I'm trying to recreate. So what I want to do now is I want to go into, let's see if I can get all the CSS. If I click on this right here, see that if I'll do that again. I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to go to where it says with the body. I'm going to click on Style CSS right there. click on that, and then this should be all the CSS that I should need. So I'm going to go all the way down there, Command C, copy that, and then I'm going to go back to my CSS. I'm going to put that in right here. So I have all the CSS, and you notice right away this changes. Okay, there are some problems though, which you notice. And I want to show you what happened here, where I don't have this right here, and I don't have this right here. If you compare these two things, it's almost right. It's almost exactly as it should be, but it doesn't. Again, it doesn't have this and it doesn't have this. Now, the reason for that is that this white thing here and this white thing here, those are images. So I got to check to see what I have, and if you look where it says in the CSS, it'll say things like URL tabback.png. Those are local names for the images, like background.png is one, and let's see, there's some down here, but I think there were. Background for the bar was bar.png, and then I thought for the there was one other. Oh right, header.png. So I need to get those URLs, the not the local ones, but I need to get the ones that are actually in here. So what I can do for that is I can go to, let's go to network. Click on network, and then where it says all these things right here, I'm going to click on image, and then I got to refresh the page. Now refresh the page, you notice background.png, header.png, bar.png. The header or the header is this one right here. I just happen to know that. But if you play around with a different website, you can sort of find out what it is, and you notice it looks like that as well. The shape of it is, So now I just need to if I click on that, or if I right click on this, that's what it is. If I right click on this, and then let's see if I can copy the link address. So that's for the header. So if I go, I just copied that. See if I can put this in here. So I put that in there, and let's see if it did anything for me. So yeah, it put this in here. So again, this is the local, and now it has that image just as it does in the web page. So this is, but again, I just put that in just by grabbing it from network. Okay, so I can do the same thing for the bar, which is this one, happened to be this one right here. Looks like this as well. I'm gonna right click on this, get the web address if I can, copy link address, and now I'm going to go into I need to find the place where it says bar. Here it is, bar.png. So instead of this local thing, I'm going to go Command V like that. And now, see if it changed. Yes, it did. It changed. Okay, so this is, I basically just made the same thing from here. And this, again, was a web page to here. And it was pretty easy for me to do. Now, the one thing that I want you to get into and to be aware, after watching the videos on the box model, I want you to play around with, with all the CSS, and try to, you'll have two HTML pages. One HTML is going to be the original, and I should be able to compare that to the actual website. It should be the same thing. And then the other one will be with edits, and that will have different CSS. It'll have the same HTML, but the CSS will be different. And what I want you to do is manipulate it in some way with the margin, the padding, and the border, so that it has a totally different look to it. And you can notice if I if I take some of these things out, I'm not sure. Let me go to something like right. If I go to the whole thing, maybe go there, and then if I start taking some things out, you can notice a little subtle changes. If I change some of these things, so now, these aren't permanent when you unclick these boxes, but they do. They can tell you what it would look like if you did manipulate these. So, for instance, margin top. I think that'll make it go up. Yep, because I take away the margin top. Height, but you can really see how if I change. Well, there's little changes for the header.